bàbá ẹ káàárọ̀ ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́ yà mi ò gbọ́ ṣe rí nígbà tẹ́ ń pe aago mi yẹn bàbá ẹ wo ó rẹ ọ̀tá mi mo ṣe rà tí mo sùn lórí couch tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní mi ò gbọ́ jàre bàbá yà ilé tó wà nílẹ̀ yìí gan ò tó nǹkan ni bàbá mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ ṣe rí reason tí mo fi gbé ẹ̀yin nìkan lónìí tí mo fi gbé yín nìkan bàbá wo bàbá olúwo ọ̀rẹ́ bá ó nídìí o orí mo rí pé làákàyè tí yín yàtọ̀ ẹ dẹ̀ tún jẹ́ àgbàlagbà ọ̀rọ̀ CPC bẹ́ẹ̀ ni CPC ẹni ẹgbẹ́ wo ló tún jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ bàbá kì í ṣẹgbẹ́ o kì í ṣẹgbẹ́ rárá kì í ṣẹgbẹ́ kílẹ̀ ti pé no kì í ṣẹgbẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ olóṣèlú country of particular concern òun ní CPC ẹ ti rántí tí Trump ṣe ní àwọn èèyàn kàn ń ìwòye tèmi lélẹ́yìí o tẹ bá ṣàkíyèsí bàbá ẹ rí wípé ẹ jẹ́ ká béèrè lọ́wọ́ ara wa kí ló fà á táwọn olóṣèlú Nàìjíríà tán bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní gbogbo orí social media o ìwọ ni radio station o ìwọ ni orí tẹlifíṣàn o náà ń lọ síbẹ̀ wọ́n ń kó àwọn ẹgbẹ́ jọ tán sponsor wọn ká má fi Nàìjíríà sí country of particular concern ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́kọ́ béèrè lọ́wọ́ ara wa bàbá ẹ̀yin lẹ bí wa mo fẹ́ béèrè lọ́wọ́ iṣẹ́ rántí tí Abacha sọ ń gbà kan pé tí insurgency ìyẹn agbésùmọ̀mí tó bá lọ fún sáà kan níbi oṣù mélòó kan àti ọjọ́ mélòó kan tí ìṣọdún ó ní ìjọba ìlú yẹn máa ń pa ẹ̀. bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ bàbá Abacha ò kéré inú ayé o ó ní tiẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ o mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ ṣe yẹn lé ní bàbá èkejì ṣe rí owó tán ti kó pamọ́ tán ti kó jẹ tán ti lé tán ti rà pamọ́ olè tán ti jà tó bá ti fi ìlú kan sí country of particular concerns bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn gbogbo nǹkan wọ̀nyẹn pátá ni wọ́n á gbẹ́sẹ̀ lé ṣe rí ẹnìkan tí ó mórí yọ nínú wọn báyìí ní Dangote country of particular concern ní tó máa padà já sí nìyẹn bàbá tó yẹ yín báyìí ẹ ń lọ èyí tó tún dàbí ẹ̀ bàbá ṣe rí bíìlì yẹn tán bá ti pàṣẹ ẹ̀ ní ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin Amẹ́ríkà tí mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ torí wípé àtúbọ̀tán ẹ̀ kì í dáa ṣùgbọ́n kájí ẹ̀ fi sí ìgbéraga tó wà lọ́kàn àwọn olè kára wọn tiẹ̀ lè balẹ̀ wọ́n mọ̀ wọ́n bàbá ṣe é rántí kílẹ̀ ń sọ ìsà ṣe é rántí ní pé Dubai ńgbà kan wọ́n mú àwọn list kan jáde ṣe rí pé bàbá kan sọ̀rọ̀ tipẹ́tipẹ́tipẹ́ tó sọ pé wọ́n mọ gbogbo àwọn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ ibi yìí. Ẹ jẹ́ ti gbàgbé bàbá ó yá ẹ jẹ́ kí n ran yín létí ẹ lísìn sí voice ẹ lísìn sí fídíò yìí bàbá wọ́n mọ̀ wọ́n.
It's not about ransom.
Amẹ́ríkà
They
gan
just
ní
want to
nǹkan
pass
jà
a
wá lọ.
message. We can come in. We can do what we need to do. And there are some hardliners in this government that are sponsoring this kind of narratives. They just want to show that they can Islamize this country. They think about Taliban. They think about the Mujahideens. And they want to replicate it in this country. And they don't care what happened. They simply don't care. As long as at the end of the day, there's Sharia and there is whatever thing they have in their head they want to achieve. So these people that are sending messages are sponsored by Nigerians. You remember this Boko Haram issue started since 2012. Yeah. And I was in the military intelligence that time. We arrested those people. It is my organization that actually conducts interrogation and interview. And they mention names. I mean, I can't come on air and start mentioning names of people that are presently in government now that I know. Presently in government. That the boys that we arrested mentioned. Some of them are governors now. Some of them are in the Senate. Some of them are in Asu Rock. The intention is to Islamize Nigeria and practice Sharia. And it doesn't matter if some people die. It doesn't matter if you're embarrassed. It doesn't matter if our economy has degenerated. Look at the interest rate. Look at the inflation rate. Look at the debt profile of Nigeria. They don't care. As long as at the end, the Quran is at the sea. So some people in this country have this mindset. And we must tell the truth. If you tell the truth, you die. If you don't tell it, you die. Some people have this mindset to Islamize the nation. And they are in the government. And people know them. The DSS know them.
Ṣẹ́rí rántí fọ́nrán yìí bàbá. Àwọn tán ẹgbọ́ Gúnmi lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta yìí. Gúnmi lọ sí ṣé Saudi ni wọ́n dá padà ipe ó wà ní watch list àwọn terrorist. Àwa èèyàn gbàgbé. Wọ́n máa ń pe àkáǹtì kan bàbá àkáǹtì yẹn tẹ́ bá kówó pamọ́ síbẹ̀. Oníṣẹ́ ẹ̀dá kẹ̀kẹ́ tí wọ́n lè fọ́kàn. Gbogbo ilé ló ń bí wọn nú. Dẹ́yìn tó máa wá fi Nàìjíríà sí CPC yìí tó máa ti wá fi Nàìjíríà sí bàbá kò yé yín nǹkan kan máa ṣẹlẹ̀. Kò ń ṣe ìwọ tó bá lówó sí Amẹ́ríkà nìkan o. Kò ń ṣe ìwọ tó bá ní ẹrù sí níbi tí gbogbo tó ti ṣe transaction dollars pátá gbogbo nǹkan tán ní síbẹ̀ wọ́n máa fìsì ẹ̀ ní ẹ jẹ́ ká fìsì ẹ̀. Nígbà tán ni wọ́n dá owó ìrànwọ́ dúró ní Nàìjíríà bàbá ṣèmi àti ṣàfihàn ẹ̀ ni. Torí pé kì í ṣàwa náà ti ṣàwa kọ̀ọ̀kan wá àwa kò dọ́dọ̀ wa. Ní ìrẹ́ nìkan báyìí tó sọ pé wọ́n kíní kan bílíọ̀nù tán ní Tinubu pín wọn ò jẹ́ ó dé sàlẹ̀. Ọmọkùnrin yẹn gbìyànjú wọn ò jẹ́ kó dé sàlẹ̀. Kò sẹ́ni kọ́kọ́ tó súnmọ́ mi bí mo ti jẹ́ gbajúgbajà tó sọ pé ẹ ṣàwọn mọ̀ gbowó yẹn o. Nobody. Kò sẹ́ni kan báyìí. Lóònù tán ni wọ́n gbà ọmọ mi kan tún pè mí láìpẹ́ yìí pé owó wọ́n máa sanwó November yìí o 300,000. Kò gbá orí àwọn ọmọ bá ṣe jẹ́. Ọmọ mi mò ń sọ kẹ́dẹ̀ rí ẹ mà gbogbo yẹn mò ń pè lọ́mọ mi bàbá kò ní bàbá káàbà sọ pé kíní you imagine àwọn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ lábẹ́ ìjọba then ẹ jẹ́ kí n play fídíò kan fún yín kẹ́ bá lè gbọ́ àlàyé ẹ̀ dáadáa mo fẹ́ kẹ́ gbọ́ fídíò ẹ lè gbọ́ àlàyé ẹ̀ dáadáa. ẹ gbọ́ fídíò yìí bàbá fẹ́ kẹ́ gbọ́ àlàyé n tó ń dùn àwọn elite wa kì í ṣe tìtorí tiwa náà ṣe ń lọ sórí tẹlifíṣàn àwọn senators yẹn kì í ṣe torí tiwa ẹ wo nǹkan tọmọbìnrin yìí ṣe lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta yìí bàbá senator Natasha for the fact that wípé àwọn olórí burúkú suspend ẹ wo nǹkan tó lọ ṣe àgbákàmọ́ project tó lọ ṣe ó fi hàn pé owó yẹn wà ń bẹ nínú àwọn senator ilẹ̀ Yorùbá kan ní Ogun State ń bẹ yẹn àṣẹ federal government ń try say devolution of power tá à ń ṣe ò ní problem. So kẹtí ẹ má bínú traffic bíbá yìí kò tó èèyàn jàre èèyàn yẹn mọ òṣì báyìí mímọ tó yẹ gbé mi lọ gbé mi bọ̀ yẹn I don't know nǹkan tó mọ kọfà yẹn o wẹ́wẹ́wẹ́. So bí mo ṣe ń bọ̀rọ̀ mi bọ̀ bàbá àwọn ọlọ́kadà tó ń wà wá kú wa yẹn ni o kẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ pé òun ṣàwa àwa mẹ̀kúnnù kò ń ṣe torí tiwa kò kàn wá ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń pariwo wọ́n fẹ́ wá kọ́rọ̀ ajé Nàìjíríà àwọn àlùmọ́ọ́nù tó ń kó yẹn látijọ́ tẹ̀ tí ní epo yẹn ṣé ó ṣe yín láǹfààní ẹ dá mi lóhùn owó tó ń jí wọn ẹ jẹ́ kán gbà lọ́wọ́ wọn ẹ jẹ́ kán gbà á.
Nigerians, this is a time to be very happy, because our prayers will soon be answered if the United States Congress pass the bill, which possibly they're going to pass that bill introduced by Texas Senator, Republican Senator Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz should be a hero right now in Nigeria. Ted Cruz recently sponsored a bill which is co-sponsored by other senators like the senator representing right now, Oklahoma, Senator James Lankford, Republican, in the 119th Congress of the United States. Now, this bill, when passed, will officially designate Nigeria as a country of particular concern for the violations of religious freedom and, of course, freedom of ethnic minorities in Nigeria. Let me tell you something. It is not the designation of Nigeria as a CPC that is the biggest issue, that all these officials in government are making people look as if the United States is just trying to incite religious war in Nigeria, as if Nigeria was in a state of religious war. Nobody said Nigeria is in a religious war. We have harmonious relationship with our brothers, the Muslims, all of us. But there are Muslim terrorists operating in Nigeria and killing people, especially in Christian states. This is an incontrovertible fact. Now, these terrorists are being enabled by a lot of officials in government circles. If you remember the quote attributed to Abacha, who said, any insurgency that lasts more than 24 hours, it means the government has a hand in it. That is just the truth of the matter. United States, you need to sit down with United States senators, United States politicians and pressmen, especially those who belong to the African or Foreign Relations Committee of Chambers of the Congress. You get to understand your continent even more than yourself. These people are the same people who are exporting technology to us. Through this technology, they get so much information about us more than the way we know.
They know.
That's the truth.
They know more than we
so
think.
much facts about Nigeria, and they are going to unleash it very soon. So now, Congressman Ted Cruz just introduced a bill in the Congress, in the Senate, in September. And that bill is titled Nigerian Religious Freedom Accountability Act. It's official title is S, that is Senate Bill 2747. Okay, now, let me tell you why Nigerian officials are very, very apprehensive of this bill. There's nothing that has ruffled the shoulders of Nigerian officials like the introduction of this bill. Nothing. It's not all about this foreign aid they are talking about, or the embargo on loans, etc. By the way, we've suffered so much embargo all around the world, but we don't feel it. The common man doesn't feel it. Even if there are loans, even there are aids given to Nigeria, we don't even feel it. So that is not an issue. It may be very hurting, but it's quite secondary.
I don't feel
the primary reason why Nigerian government officials are very, very scared of this bill, let me tell you. Section 2 of that bill says the president of the shall impose sanctions described in Executive Order 13818. That executive order was signed during Trump's first tenure in 2017. And that executive order postulates that the United States shall apply sanctions, visa travel ban, freezing of assets, blocking of property of anybody who has been listed or identified in the report captured by that law. Now, these guys have the report. That report, they say, when that bill is enacted into law, within 90 days of the enactment of that bill, the Secretary of State shall pass to the Senate list of Nigerians involved in this crime in the last 10 years. It means that these people have the list of Nigerians involved in this crime. And now, let me tell you the section of Nigerians involved in this crime that the bill specifically listed. So, the bill specifically listed federal officials, which is the general name for the guys in the executive arm of Nigeria, the federal level, and the National Assembly, that's senators and House of Rep members.
For 10 years.
It says Nigerian judges, Nigerian governors, Nigerian law enforcement agents, those your generals, those your police, members of the security agents who have been involved in this crime. And now, let's understand their level of involvement in this crime. So the United States says you will be involved in this crime if at any point in time you promoted, you canvassed, you supported blasphemy laws, or you are even an advocate of it. That's the kind of law that made those urchins in Sokoto to murder that girl called Deborah Joseph some time ago. Just so close to the Sultan of Sokoto's palace. So it means that the lives of the Sultan will be included in this. And many of these governors who adopted blasphemy laws in Nigeria. Now, that doesn't stop there. The section also gives room, also mentioned that government officials, that's governors, judges, senators, House of Rep members, who tolerated or were silent to acts of violence perpetrated by non-state actors, ISIS, Boko Haram, Fulani headsmen, and the rest. So under that law, these persons are deemed to be guilty. Like I said earlier, the United States have that report. They have the list of all this. And you know, it's very easy to get a list of these people in Nigeria. Dubai, some time ago, around 5 years ago, had that list. They convicted, they prosecuted and convicted those guys in the United Arab Emirates, those involved in terrorism in Nigeria, and sent a corresponding list to Nigeria, which Nigerian government has slept upon. Recently, this year, the likes of Sheikh Gumi, when he went for Hajj in Saudi Arabia, he was deported at Jeddah International Airport immediately for terrorism. He was deported. So these international bodies, they have the names of all these people. They have a very long list of all your government officials, from your House of Reps to your House of Assembly to governors to anybody involved in enabling it, in abating it, in aiding it, not just direct participation. They have the names of those who are completely involved, either directly or indirectly. Now, that is the reason why you guys are apprehensive. But wait for it. Now, when this bill is enacted into law, the United States will, within 90 days, when Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, transmit that letter, they will freeze all the assets all the properties, all the investment of all the Nigerians listed in that report. They will place a travel ban on them. Now, wait for it. A lot of people will think that the travel ban is only applicable to the United States, or the assets is only the assets of these politicians that is in the United States, like the Florida House of a certain minister they are talking about, or bank account of many of these other guys. No, wait for it. It's not just the United States. Now, in the United States, there is a law called the Magnitsky Act, which was passed in 2012. This Magnitsky Act is named after the event of that happened in Russia when the tax lawyer Sergei Magnitsky was murdered by government officials. So the US now passed that act so that they could freeze the asset of all the Russians involved in it, freeze their property, freeze their investment, and everything related to them and their family. Now, it did not just stop in the US. Other countries now adopted that act and domiciled it. Remarkably, countries like the United Kingdom, Canada, European Union, and many other countries outside the European Union and in Europe. And these are the places Nigerians have a lot of assets. Canada, United Kingdom, Germany, UK, US, etc. So now, this country keyed into the position of the US and adopted what they call the Global Magnitsky Act. And so it means that this act has significant extraterritorial jurisdiction, not just in the United States. Even if you've never stepped your foot in the United States, but you do go to UK, countries of the European Union, Canada, and the likes, and you have your businesses in those places, you have bank account in those places. But wait for it, let me even tell you the grievous aspect of this. When we're given a CPC status, that's country of particular concern, and these our powerful men are given that designation of the Global Magnitsky, this is what will happen to them. So that Magnitsky designation is a powerful tool that will cut individuals off. This individual in that report, whose names are in that report, it will cut them off from US financial system. And by extension, that's the global financial system, because the US financial system dominates global financial system, more than 80% of it. Transaction in dollars and transaction via the US banks. Therefore, any transaction, any fund, any bank account, any property belonging to the sanctioned individuals or entity that touched the US financial system. For example, a dollar transaction of any kind cleared through an American bank, even if those properties are overseas in any country, will be blocked. So, there's that strong internetwork of the US financial system that's all over the world. Our guys like dollars. They like transacting in dollars. They like going to, anytime they're traveling, even if it is European Union, even if it's China, they first of all, convert it to dollars. And they use dollar cards, the Visa card, the MasterCard. So now that transaction. Most of them, that is why these guys are running helter-skelter. Preaching, buying slots on all the TV channels, all the radio channels, sponsoring groups to talk about the US attempt to designate Nigeria as a country of particular concern. It's for them, it's not for Nigeria. It's not for all of us. I am for this, and right now, tomorrow on Tuesday, I'll be having a meeting with Senator James Langford. I have an appointment with him to promote this, to campaign on this, on why the US should never falter in her desire to see that we are a CPC, a country of particular concern. This nonsense will have to stop. The US will have to help us expose these people involved in these killings. And I end by re-quoting that statement from Abacha, attributed to Abacha, when he says, when insurgency lasts more than 24 hours, the government has an hand in it. That is the truth. The government has a hand. Different people in government, at the state, at the national level, has a hand in all these killings happening in Nigeria. All the headsmen killing, Boko Haram killing, Lakurawa killing, all this killing. And that is why you could see, like, headmen attack in Benin, for instance, you could see that they will be carrying out the attack in front of the soldiers and nothing. The soldier will not release even a gunshot because of the government involvement. And anytime some of these people are arrested by local vigilantes and take them to the police or to the soldiers, the next day those guys are released. So the United States has released those guys. But they need a statutory backing to release those lists. And that is why Senator Ted Cruz is now sponsoring that bill so that it will come into law. At that point, it has a legal backing. And that is why your officials, that your godfather, that your mentor in politics is scared. Because his name is included in that list. God will prevail, and we shall prevail.
Canada ti lọ́wọ́ sí, àwọn European Union ti lọ́wọ́ sí nǹkan tó ń sọ yìí bàbá mi. Kì í kò ṣe é dá padà mọ́, kò bá mọ́. Kò sí nǹkan sọ́gbọ́n tán lè dá sí sà. Bàbá mi Seriki kò sọ́gbọ́n tán lè dá sí. Ṣé rí ìkà ẹni ìkà tí ó bá ti ṣe kà títí á fi kan ṣe rẹ̀ tí ó bá fi ṣe rẹ̀ á fi ṣe ọmọ tó bí. Òun lẹ rí tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà yẹn. Ẹrù tẹ́ ń gbé sí orí àwọn èèyàn ti pọ̀ jù. Gbogbo bí Tinubu ṣe ń gbìyànjú lọ́tún lósì. Ẹ wo nǹkan tí Gumi kọ ní àná náà. Ó ní kí Nàìjíríà, ó ní kí Tinubu kó cut ties pẹ̀lú Amẹ́ríkà. Gbogbo ọ̀nà náà fẹ́ wọ́n máa fi bàjọba ẹ̀ jẹ́. Bọ́ èmi ń sọ fẹ́ gbọ́n mi pé kò sí nǹkan tó ń dúró fún 8 years fún. Àmọ́ wọn we know. Ẹ wàá máa sọ pé tó bá ti dórí kinní wọn á sọ pé insurgency. Àmọ́ wọn tó ń pa wá níṣẹ́ bá àwọn ẹgbẹ́ Fúlàní ni. Kí ló dé tẹ̀ dárúkọ wọn? Ibi Gumi pẹ̀lú wọn. Ẹ ní lè dárúkọ wọn. So àwọn tá ń kọ́fà látijọ́ òun ní í sìn. Tó bá pẹ́ tí ká ti ń ṣèkà ó máa fi padà ṣera ẹ̀ ni. Ẹ̀yin elite Nàìjíríà ẹ kú oríire. Títí tó fi dórí àwọn pásítọ̀ ni ó. Títí tó fi dórí àwọn pásítọ̀ tó ń ra jìbìtì tí àwọn pásítọ̀ yẹn ti ẹ̀ pọ̀ jù. Wọ́n pẹ̀ evangelist wọn ò sọ̀rọ̀, wọn ò ní sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹni bàbá Seriki ó yẹ rí nìyẹn. Yes, àwọn ọmọ wọ̀nyẹn náà máa ń lò. Tẹ́ bá gbọ́ bàbá yìí, bàbá tó ń pariwo gan ní Benue yìí sà. Tẹ́ bá gbọ́ nǹkan tó sọ lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta yìí. Àwọn tó bá jẹ́ Kìrìsìtẹ́nì bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n á tì wọ́n sí ẹnu ogun, wọ́n á wá sọ fún àwọn agbésùnmọ̀mí yẹn pé ẹ pa gbogbo wọn dànù. Wọ́n ti pa ṣégeṣége náà wọ́n á mi wá.
Dachomo, original leader of the Church of Christ in Nations in Jos, who raised alarm that he received kidnapping and death threats after posting a video of the mass burial of Christian victims from a recent attack in the Hepang community near Jos. Dachomo, who made the original video as proof of what he claims is a Christian genocide and to show how Christians were being terrorized and persecuted, has responded defiantly in a new video. In this follow-up video, he passionately pleads that if he is kidnapped, no one should pay his ransom, stating that his blood will instead raise the war necessary for Christian liberation. Let's take a look.
We are showing them love, but they didn't see. I don't know whether I will be the next. But for me, I've already told my family,
24 hours,
my members, if they kidnap me, nobody should contribute one kobo. My grave will speak. My blood.
Mo ní fídíò kan lọ́wọ́ bíi tí bàbá ẹ̀ tó ti lọ sórí àwọn tó ń pa tó ń kọ orúkọ wọn lọ rẹ́rẹ́rẹ́rẹ́rẹ́ lọ́jọ́ kan. Mass burial. Ó ló ti sún Ọlọ́run fẹ́ ṣe mass burial mọ́. Tẹ́rí Amẹ́ríkà ní kinní kan bàbá Seriki. Gbogbo technology tá à ń lo àwọn ta ló ní sà. ta ló ní Nvidia tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ ṣé wá rí ẹ jẹ́ kí n shock yín bàbá wa Seriki. Google Amẹ́ríkà ló ní Google wọ́n wá ti ṣe wọ́n pe kọ̀ǹpútà kan ní ṣe Quantum àbí mo ti gbàgbé báyẹn Quantum something ni kò sí nǹkan tí kọ̀ǹpútà yẹn ò lè ṣe wọ́n ṣe parí ẹ̀ ní last week ní sà kò sí gbogbo eléyìí tá à ń sọ wọ́n mọ gbogbo irọ́ tá à ń pa wọ́n mọ́. a lè farapamọ́ sí gbogbo ẹ̀ pátápátá náà mọ̀ pátápátá. ṣé wá rí kọ̀ǹpútà tí mò ń sọ yìí àwọn medical line á wúlò fún wọn tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n á lè ṣe any diagnosis wọ́n á lè ṣe machine tó jẹ́ pé ó máa lè operate èèyàn fún ara ẹ̀ robot. ẹ wo ká dẹ̀ mọ ká sì wà níbi tá a wà Nàìjíríà àwọn elite wá dẹ̀ lọ ń tì tara wọn nílùú òyìnbó ẹ bá wo àwọn èèyàn bọ́n ṣe ń kú rówó rògùn àwọn tó bá oògùn tó wá le jù nígbà àwọn èèyàn àwọn ọmọ ìdìbò táwọn máa ṣe oògùn fake wọ́n máa kú dànù a ò sọ pé ká ẹ má jowó ṣùgbọ́n ikú tó ń kú gbogbo nǹkan àwọn small amenities ẹ ṣe fún àwọn èèyàn kó sẹ́ni tó máa rí yín gbogbo ìgbìyànjú Tinubu wọn jẹ́ ó yọ bó ṣe fẹ́ máa adjust gbogbo ẹ̀ rí nígbà tó ń fẹ́ ṣe tax reforms ni wọ́n kẹ́yìn jáde yànyànyànyà àwọn wèrè tó wà lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n devolve power meeting tó fẹ́ ṣe pẹ̀lú Trump kò mí ìmọ̀ túmọ̀ meeting yẹn I don't know kò lè jẹ́ nǹkan kan kò bá mọ́ àyè wàrà mọ́ ọmọ yẹn ti rìn wọ́jọ́ ẹ̀yin gómìnà orin ìṣẹ́ wà fúnlẹ̀ wa tẹ́ ń kọ ẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́.
Iṣẹ́ wà fúnlẹ̀ wa fún ilẹ̀ ìbí wa kàgbéga fàyè rí ìgbàgbọ́ wà ní pé bàtìbẹ̀rù làbọ̀ mọ́ ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká jọlá ìṣọ̀kan àmìnira ní ẹ jẹ́ ká máa lépa tẹ̀síwájú ọkàn rere àtòhun tó dára ọmọ Olúwa dìde bọ́ sí ipò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ gbogbo adúláwọ̀.
Thank you very much.